After reviewing hundreds of floor plans, here are the same 10 mistakes I keep seeing over and over again. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Duru. I'm a design and building consultant here in Perth, Western Australia. Today I'll be taking you through some of the very common mistakes I see in project builder floor plans. Let's get into it. Point number one, sliding windows to the front facade. Having sliding windows to the front facade of a home instead of awning windows is a sure way to downgrade your street appeal. Any chance you get, either have fixed panel windows or awning windows to the front. Point number two is tiny bedrooms with walk-in robes. If the bedroom is too small to even accommodate a queen size bed with at least one bedside table, get rid of the walk-in robe, have a mirrored slider instead, and give that extra area to the bedroom. It is far more important to functionality than having a walk-in robe. Point number three is narrow passageways. This is something that gets overlooked a lot. Once your home is built, you can't change the width of a passageway, so make sure you double check on your plans that you've got at least 1,000 millimeters for the brickwork, because once the gyprock or the flown set plaster goes down there, or your skirting boards, it's going to get even narrower. Point number four, and this is a really important one when it comes to cost, and that is the kitchen setup. A lot of the time on 2D floor plans, you can't actually see the number of banks of drawers and the number of drawers per bank you're getting in your kitchen. So a question you need to ask your consultant is, kitchen is great on your plans, but how many banks of drawers are included? And how many drawers per bank are included? Point number five, kitchen islands with a narrow width. So on a lot of plans, I'm seeing 900 mil wide kitchen islands with stools on the end. This is not wide enough to actually accommodate an overhang that's going to make a breakfast bar setup comfortable. So if you're wanting to have a breakfast bar, or if you're wanting to have stools at the kitchen island, you really want to go for at least 1,200 millimeters in width. That way you have enough overhang from the kitchen bench top to sit comfortably. Point number six, powder rooms or WCs with the window facing the alfresco. If you're having guests over and someone needs to use the bathroom and you're all hanging out in the alfresco, what do you think is going to happen if you have a window that is facing the alfresco and the window's open? It is really not ideal for privacy. Please avoid it at all costs. Point number seven is wrong window sizes and locations in rooms. When you're looking at window sizes, not only do you have to consider the angle of the sun, you also have to consider generally the wind direction in that area, and also furnishability. If your windows are too low in a bedroom and you need to put a bed under it, it's not going to work. Same thing with an office and a desk. You really have to go through each room by room, making sure that the window sizes actually work for what you're wanting to achieve. Number eight, and this is something that's going to be very hard for first-time home builders to see, and that is having too many hip and valleys in your roof structure. So if you are changing a standard floor plan, maybe adding a little bit of area here and there, absolutely fine. But what you want to avoid is adding unnecessary hip and valleys, because that's just going to add extra cost. A lot of instances, we can actually reduce cost by adjusting a room size and sometimes by adding area, because it gets rid of an additional hip and valley in your roof structure. Point number nine, this ties into the previous point, and that is too many spandrels. So on the exterior of your home where your eaves are sitting, when your eaves have to change from one height to another, they will need to either spandrel up or down. This is not a very aesthetically pleasing construction requirement. So if we can avoid doing this too many times, that's going to be really important to the overall feel of your home. And last but not least, the dining and family room sizes. In a lot of these plans, it will say family dining along with measurement for your width and a measurement for your depth. What you really need to do is draw into the plans the furniture you're planning to have. If you don't do this, you risk building a home that's not furnishable for you and your family. So that is something that I'm seeing a lot. Room sizes that are just not going to work once it's built. That wraps up the most common mistakes that I'm seeing in floor plans today. If there's anything else you would like to add, pop it in our comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.